My IELTS speaking score is always stuck at 6 or 6.5 or 7 and it's not going above that. What could be the reason? Well, if you're wondering, then trust me, today's video is that video which gives you 3 powerful, power-packed tips on how to improve the IELTS speaking score just like this and get that band 8 without putting much effort. All you got to do is make sure you watch the video till the end. Hey everybody, Nakul from Skills IELTS. Really hope everybody is doing fantastic. I'm back with yet another video on IELTS speaking. A lot of people struggle in IELTS speaking for the very own reasons, right? Because some don't understand how it is being evaluated. Some don't know how to speak fluently, as a result they lose marks, and many different reasons. So today I've made this video to help you understand how to easily score that IELTS speaking 8 without putting much efforts, because I'm going to talk about 3 powerful tips. Before we get into the video, if not subscribed to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button, and anytime you need online assistance, it's a paid assistance, you can WhatsApp us to the number appearing at the bottom of the screen. I'll be there, we will be there to help you guide in the right direction. Alright, without further delay, let's straight away get into the video. Let me just share my screen. 3 powerful tips for IELTS speaking 8. First thing first, the tip number 1, coherence, cohesion is the key and not the fluency. Alright, so what people always do is, I need to speak just continuously, I'll get marks. No, it is not that. There is a structure, correct? So how you are being evaluated, well, what I mean by this is fluency matters, but coherence, cohesion is the preference. How you are evaluated with respect to your IELTS speaking. First thing is fluency and pronunciation. Means it's what natural or the rhythmic speed you are talking. That's the fluency. And the pronunciation is all about clarity. Second is grammar. Third is coherence, cohesion. Fourth is vocabulary. Of all these, coherence, cohesion is given the utmost preference. The next is the fluency and the grammar and the vocabulary. See, everything matters, but we get the fluency because we talk continuously, but coherence, cohesion is where we actually completely go down, because a lot of people don't have clarity on what this coherence, cohesion is. Correct? So coherence, cohesion is all about the structure, the narration. Let's say you're watching a movie. Some movies appeal to you, some movies don't, because of the screenplay, how the story is narrated. The same way here, whatever you speak, there has to be a narration, there has to be a structure. I'll give you more insights about what I'm talking about, rather. Use a structure to enhance the coherence mark. So the main idea, supporting idea, example or conclusion, or another extension of a supporting idea. So this is the structure that has to be used. Whatever you talk, you need to go with the structure. The first sentence, you introduce an idea, and third sentence, you can either continue that idea, or you can stop it and give an example, or you can talk about a new idea, but there has to be a structure. But what a lot of people end up doing, let's say this is the question in the part 1. Let's make it more simple. Let's talk about part 1 alone. The climate is very good for one to live in. People love this weather. People always take selfies with this weather. Everyone likes to come here and stay. Nobody says they don't like the place. So this is zero structure. This doesn't have structure. The person who speaks this way, right? He doesn't want to put much effort. He just wants to be at ease, at his own convenience, and just wants to just blurt out whatever that comes to his mind instantaneously. No, this gonna give you less scores. Let's say even if you speak elegantly, fluency wise precise, grammar wise precise, vocabulary wise precise, still you get low score. This will not score more than 5.5 or 6, because coherence, cohesion is 0. Correct? So how this can be altered? Again, see there, the idea is very, very simple. You're going to talk about the main idea in the very first sentence. How is the weather like at your place? You talk about it in the first sentence, then you draw an extension to it. Correct? That's the supporting idea. So I'm going to show that correct answer. See there, the climate, how is the climate like? The climate offers an ideal living environment with a consistent year-round temperature of around 20 degrees Celsius. Now I want to continue further. Entire year around 20 degrees. What about summer? What about peak winter? No, I'm going to continue. So the main idea is like 11th floor. Supporting idea is like 4th floor. You come more into it. Because getting it right. It's actually this simple. So now I told about a year-round temperature of 20 degree. Now I continue talking about the supporting idea. The second line, during the winter, it occasionally dips to a comfortable 10 degree, while in the summer one can expect temperatures to reach a pleasant 30 degree. So, this is the coherence coefficient. Here also the person speaks 3 lines, here also the person speaks 3 lines. The only difference is in the first one there is no structure, second one is the right structure. So, this is where you need to work on, correct. This is where you need to work on, and when you practice, practice with this way, having a main idea, supporting idea, continuation of that. By being more fluent, then automatically score will jump. So, that is the first thing. Coherence coefficient is the key. Use a structure to enhance your coherence coefficient scores. The next one, tip number 2 in this 3 powerful tip video. Tip number 2, part 2 speaking is nothing but part 1 5 times. So, what I mean by this, part 2 you have to speak for around 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, could be less than that sometimes. So, part 1, the climate here offers an ideal living environment with a consistent year round temperature of around 20 degrees Celsius. During the winter months, it occasionally dips to a comfortable 10 degree, but in the summers one can actually expect temperature to reach a pleasant 30 degrees. So, this will take 20 or 25 or 30 seconds depending on what sentences you use, bigger sentence, shorter sentence. On an average 25 seconds. Pay more attention, do the math, 25 seconds. In the part 2 you have to speak for 120 seconds, 25 into 5 is 125. So, part 1 you repeat 5 times, part 2 is done. Part 2 you do not have to prepare separately, part 1 you prepare, part 1 you study, part 1 you practice, part 2 you learn to implement. That is all it is, automatically the structure will be fixed, correct. Part 2 speaking is nothing but part 1 repeated or spoken 5 times. I will give you an example. So, this is how we are going to divide that 25 seconds, 25 seconds, 25 seconds, 25 seconds, 25 seconds, approximately 1 minute 30 seconds, could be 1 minute 40 seconds. By then the examiner will ask you to stop. So, how do we divide? Part 2 we will start with another structure. The first structure is main idea, supporting idea, example or continuation. This is an outer structure for part 2 where if a person is standing away from it, let us say he is looking at the cue card answer, the first paragraph will talk about the background information. That is where you introduce the topic. You talk about the past, where past tense is being used. Grammar wise, it is getting filled all, getting it right. Grammar is all about making use of different tenses, different sentences, template will cover. Main idea, supporting idea, example. Their supporting idea you are going to start with, although complex sentences, compound sentence, we are going to talk about it in just a while. So, here the structure covers the grammar. Background information you are going to speak part 1 for 25 seconds. Then they would have given 3 bulletin points in the question. Use the first bulletin point, main idea, supporting idea, example or conclusion, another supporting idea. Do it for all the bulletin points. This is going to cover 60 to 70 seconds. Then futuristic point, in the future again a main idea, supporting idea, example or conclusion or another supporting idea. That gonna be again 25 seconds. It is actually very simple. Part 1 you just be an expert, part 2 is nothing, getting it. So, let us see an implementation. This is the cue card topic, describe an event you recently attended. You should say first bulletin point, second bulletin point, third, fourth, you can choose any of these or you skip it and make your own bulletin points. Content is not a priority in the entire evaluation. Did you see content being scored? No. That is the next step, we will come to that. Any of this you can take, any 3 is fine and start with it. Background information, first bulletin point, second bulletin point, third bulletin point, futuristic point. Part 1 you are going to speak 5 times, part 2 is done. I would like to talk about an event that I attended recently. Main idea, not the main idea, this is just a line, this is the main idea. When I was young, I always wanted to watch live circus. Then supporting idea, you are going to start it with although or though, it automatically becomes a complex sentence. Although I never had a chance to see how the circus feels like, I always waited for that day to come. Now continuation. So, recently when I got a free ticket from my friend to attend circus event, I ventured out to attend it for the first time in my life. This is what part 1 answer looks like, and that we have just made use of the part 1 template and finished this 30 seconds. Now, we are going to repeat this for another 4 times. correct. So, you have the what kind of event it is, what is it about, why you went, did you enjoy, 4 bulletin points, take 3. First one, part 1 for 30 seconds, second one, part 1 for 25-30 seconds, third one, again speak the way you did the part 1 for 25-30 seconds. Approximately it will take 65 to 70 seconds. The circus arena was filled with lot of people. Main idea, supporting idea. Although it was little boring in the beginning, I soon got into it for the majestic performances. Continuation. In fact, the cycle show where everyone does gymnastics through a cycle was spellbounded, was indeed eye capturing. Anything is fine. One bulletin point for 25-30 seconds is done. Second bulletin point. Another interesting point is that, see, we are making use of this connectors. Main idea, Joker was the main highlight of the event. Supporting idea, as soon as the Joker entered, everyone bursts into laugh because of his splendid performance. You can, you know, I mean, you can speak whatever you want, doesn't matter, as long as it goes with it. As soon as he entered, all I could hear for the next 20 minutes was just the laughter. Truly, these people are naturally talented, born to make others laugh, or anything of this sort. Then the third third bulletin point to add further. Then came elephants, where I felt it was inhuman to hurt them. A guide was holding a sharp object or sharp sword to intimidate, to make the elephants afraid, become afraid, and those pretty creatures had to forcefully do the things which they don't like. This was the only part which I did not like about circus. Anything you want, all in all, it was a mixed feeling to be a part of such an event. Or whatever you want, just go in a flow, because you've already got that structure, you inside it. Hope you are getting it, guys. So, now approximately 4 things done, that is 25-30 seconds, 25-30 seconds, 25-30 seconds, 25-30 seconds. Approximately 1 hour 20 minutes done, or 1 minute 20 seconds done, or 1 minute is done approximately. So, now if the examiner still says nothing, and waiting for you to continue further, then you add. Also in the coming days, if I get a chance, main idea, to attend another event, I would prefer to dive in, as it could be great time to spend my leisure. Why? Supporting idea. Since circus awakens our awareness about endless possibilities of the very body, it always reminds me of my potential to do things beyond my capacity. Or as circus is always a great leisure time, I would not be wanting to miss it and want just to have fun time. Anything you can talk, one more line if you want, you can add and finish it off. The idea is very simple. Cue card is simple, but it's our mind which makes it so difficult. So that's the tip number 3. Content is not a priority. Content is never marked in the IELTS speaking evaluation guide. Fluency, pronunciation, coherence, grammar, vocabulary. Where is the content? That does not mean that you speak some generic sentence. Of course, there is a human sitting there. You would be aware of what you are talking about. At least go in a flow, try to make at least little sense, at least to an extent. You do not have to be really perfect in terms of the ideas. Good idea, bad idea, there is nothing like that. Correct? A lot of people worry about the ideas that they bring in. Am I talking the right idea? I think I did not give a right idea. In doing so, in that thinking itself, they are gone. The fluency gone case, everything just messes up because they are not confident of the ideas. But the point is, ideas will not give you score. Content is not a priority. Understand how you are evaluated first. Fluency, to maintain fluency, you focus on the content, you cannot focus much on the fluency. Well, there are some people, of course like me, who can do both the things at a time, but many people cannot. You focus on one thing, it's fine. You focus on 2 things, you fumble, you falter. So, don't focus much on the content. Go with the flow, have a structure, just speak. Things will actually fall in place. So, these are the 3 powerful tips if you really want to score high in your IELTS speaking. This is Nakul signing off from Skills IELTS. I think that's all I've got for you today. If at all you want an online paid assistance, you can any point of time join us by WhatsApping us to the number appearing at the bottom of the screen. And if not subscribed to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button in order not to miss any of the future updates, something like this. Fine guys, it's time to bid bye. Soon I'll be back. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.